Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever it is where you are. My name is Nicole, and I head up community over at Trusted Health, where we support nurses in so many different facets of your wonderful lives. And tonight we are just so excited to have Joy Bauer lead us through some amazing dessert creations. A quick note on the system that we're using for this event. It is called Bevy, and in the upper right-hand corner, you can find chat, so general chat that we're all in. You can see the pinned note from Joy. You can see Q&A. So if you have any questions during this presentation, during this demo, please put them in there. And you can also upvote other questions that you want to see presented. And what I'll do is kind of appear and disappear and share those questions with Joy so we can ask them as they come in. And with that, I will toss it over to Joy. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. I feel so honored to be able to do this with you at the very start of Nurses Week. Obviously, I'm going to start by saying thank you. Thank you so much for all that you have done for the world this past grueling year. I think you all, healthcare workers in general, and teachers just deserve so much love and so much TLC, and I am just sending you the biggest virtual bear hug, and I hope every single one of you catch this because it's really from the heart. Just thank you so much. And this treat is for you all, and I know that some of you are cooking along with me, which is super cool, but the ones of you that are not, I want you to ask me your questions throughout and get hungry. I hope your mouth starts watering because this is a total dessert party, and if you know me, you know that I love to eat. I'm like obsessed with food. I have a total sweet tooth, but at the same time, I don't like to slave in the kitchen. So what you'll find are that these recipes are filled with, for the most part, they're filled with healthful ingredients. I've sort of given them what we call on the Today Show, my joyful spin. So I've reimagined things that we absolutely love, like creamy, indulgent chocolate milkshakes. Yeah, I went there. An out of this world apple pie that's single serve that you make in the microwave. I mean, easy as pie, quite literally. And then I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate mug cake. And I was telling Nicole that I wanted to balance out the flavors because we had a lot of chocolate. And so I'm going to throw in at the end a tropical sort of limoncello slushy that only requires 2 ingredients, actually 3 ingredients. I think you're going to flip for that too. And all of these things are very kid friendly, both to make and to eat. So I hope you enjoy them and use that chat function because this is for you all. Any questions that you have, it could be about the recipes or it could be about anything having to do with health, food, supplements, fitness. Like, I am your woman and I am here just for you all. So we are going to start with apple pie. Who loves apple pie? If you love apple pie, tell me in the chat function. So here's how we're going to make it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. So right before I went live, I'm going to put this really close. It is ooey gooey. And it's got all of the apples cut up within, just a few ingredients. You'll see how simple it is. If you're cooking along with me, you're going to whip this together lickety split. And I do put graham crackers in there because we need the crust. And again, I want you to have the full experience. So I'm starting with a Honeycrisp apple, but the beauty here is that you could start with any apple that you want. And you can core it if you have a corer, but I'm just doing it the simple way, and I'm just gonna slice along the outside. And one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm gonna keep on the skin because the skin has a lot of fiber in it, and you will not taste the skin. Everything's gonna soften up, and it's so worth it to keep that skin on.
Hey, Joy, Leslie's asking if you can use peaches instead of apples.
You definitely can use peaches. And what I would say with the peaches, you don't want them to be super ripe because if they're very ripe, they're probably going to lose their shape and it's going to turn into goo. It's going to be delicious goo, trust me. But if they're like one step prior to being overly ripe, I think it's going to be perfect. The other thing is you can use frozen peach chunks, and I would say just thaw them before because it will come together much quicker. Sure. So now I'm just going to be slicing this up into small pieces. And one of the things that I love about apples, I love that I can talk to you all about health science. Apples have a type of fiber called pectin, and pectin helps to latch on to bad cholesterol, the LDL, sort of like malabsorb it, escort it out of your body. So apples are really, really great, whatever kind you like. If you like the tart and you're going to go for Granny Smith, or if you like the sweeter and you're going to go for like a Honey Crisp, as I'm using right here, or Fuji or Empire, all apples have the pectin. And what I will say is it's, one of the fruits, because I do want to keep the skin on, that I would say if you have the opportunity to get organic, it's probably one of the produce items that would be a good idea to go that extra mile. But if you don't go organic, it's still well worth it to get conventional. Just make sure that you wash it thoroughly. Anybody have any apple questions or any questions?
I'm back.
Good.
We have been asked if this is great in the microwave because it's so easy and simple. Can you use the oven?
You can use the oven. What I'm also going to do is, so Nicole's going to tell you all that after we're done, if you send an email to nurse@joybauer, as I talk about other recipes, in response to some of the questions you guys bring up, I'm going to give you the links to that as well. And the reason I'm mentioning it right now, so that's nurse@joybauer, JOYBAUER. I'm going to add in there a link to an apple crumble that also doubles as a peach crumble that I make in the oven. And you could tell by the name of it, it has this insanely addictive topping, and that one I do in the oven. And that's a full, family casserole size version. So this is a single serve, but that one is just, like a regular portion.
For everybody. Everybody can have some crumble.
Yes. And what's nice about that one too is you put it in the fridge, and as you want a piece, if you don't finish it up, it stays in the fridge for, I would say, up to 4 days, or you could freeze it. And you can scoop a big dollop right onto a dish, and you could warm that one in the microwave, or you could warm it in the toaster oven too. So that one's really good. I always have to stop myself when it comes to that one from eating the whole topping off. It's really delicious. And I do the topping, it's gluten-free and it's dairy-free. I do it with almond flour, so it's packed with protein and fiber, and it really comes together nicely. And oats, I do it with oats as well. So again, with the oats, you're getting that beta glucan, which is a type of soluble fiber, which helps to malabsorb the bad cholesterol. It feels so good to be able to talk about all these health sciencey things, and you guys are on it. Okay, so we're almost done here. How many people prefer the tart apples to the sweeter varieties? Let me know in the chat. And Nicole, you'll tell me what the percentage is like. I find that we have a lot of Granny Smith lovers, always. Okay, so here's my bunch. So now what I'm basically gonna do is, I have here 2 tablespoons of water. And the reason I have the water over here is I want to be able to thicken up the apple pie and make it taste, really traditional, like that filling that we crave. So I'm adding in a tablespoon of cornstarch, but if for any reason you don't want to use cornstarch, you can also use arrowroot. Okay, and arrowroot is a root vegetable that they dry out and they pulverize into a flour, and that's a thickening agent as well. So I'm going to just stir this up. This is called a slurry. We're making a slurry, and it's going to be our thickener. So I'm going to set this aside, and now I have a bowl like this, and it's microwave safe because this is going to go in the microwave. So I'm going to scoop up all of my chopped apples, and we're going to mix everything in. So first, I'm going to mix in 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I love cinnamon because it has medicinal properties. It has antimicrobial properties, anti-inflammatory properties, and in some instances, I think we still need, but it has been shown to help steady blood sugars. But again, There's not a ton of strong research there, but it's something to definitely stay tuned and watch emerging science. And this is a tablespoon of packed brown sugar because we need a sweetener in here. So I'm going to put that in, and we're going to put our slurry in. So this goes right in the bowl as well. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this concoction together. And I'm going to hand this to my husband, who's my sous chef right now. He won't come in front of the camera. He will never come in front of the camera. I try to get him to. And by the way, he does all of my camera work and my audio work for the NBC segments. So ever since COVID, they trained him how to do that. And I think he's going to get a Kemmy, which I'm calling a COVID Emmy. I'm making that up, but I think he deserves it. Okay, so this now is going to go in the microwave for just 1 minute. So I'm handing it over to Ian Bauer. Here you go. So while that's in the microwave, who has some questions for me? Let's gab about health. Anything, Nicole? Oh, somebody. So Daniel prefers Washington apples. Yeah, I agree. It's tough to beat Honeycrisp. That's what I have over here. My kids grew up on Honeycrisp. We love them so much, so much. And we love to go apple picking. Put this over here. I have a question for you all. Nicole, do you have a question for me?
I was going to give you an apple report that it seems to be a little more prefer the sweet apples, but we have a lot of Honeycrisp fans, which I'm also a big Honeycrisp fan because it's sweet, but it definitely has a little bit of the tartness too.
And they're so crispy. I mean, when you get that perfect Honeycrisp, it's pretty hard to beat it for sure. So here's a question for everybody. What was your go-to meal that got you through nursing school? Was it like ramen noodles, takeout Chinese, margaritas, a bowl of cereal, a bowl of pasta, pizza? What was it?
While they think about that, Joy, I have a handful of questions. And for those who are asking questions, thank you for doing these. They're awesome.
Nicole, one thing before you jump in, what I'm just going to show you is what I'm doing now. I took it out of the microwave, and I'm going to give it one more stir, and I put it back in the microwave for another minute. So we put all the ingredients together. I stirred it up. It went in the microwave in a microwave-safe bowl for 1 minute. I took it out. I gave it a stir, and now it's going to go in for a final minute, and then it's going to be done. But you can see it's like starting to get gooey, and the apples are definitely softening up. Okay, here comes Ian Bauer's hands.
There we go. It's like Oz. Love it. Okay. So for all those asking questions, I'm going to go with in order. If you can put the questions in the Q&A section instead of general, it's easier for me to find them instead of scrolling. So just for future ones. So let me see. We've got Leslie's asking, what got you started with being more mindful about health? That's a great question.
So I was sort of born with a passion for health. I was a competitive gymnast growing up. So from 6th grade, I was already competing. I lived in a gym, and I was always super fascinated with, mainly in the beginning, it was optimizing sports performance, which just automatically lent itself to food. But here's a true story, and it's kind of hilarious. I remember doing my very first diet. It was a sports nutrition diet, and it wasn't until I was in high school, maybe 9th or 10th grade, and we didn't have the internet at the time. I'm 57, so I went to the library and I looked up, what was it, Encyclopedia Britannica, and I studied, what are the foods that really sort of elevate our health, could make me faster, stronger, give me, greater performance value. And I walked away with 2 foods, complex carbohydrates and vegetables, which are sort of one and the same, right? But in my head, it was complex carbohydrates and vegetables. So I then allotted for my vegetables, mayonnaise, sugar-laden coleslaw, and my complex carbohydrates were Ritz crackers. So for 3 days, I basically subsided on big vats of coleslaw and Ritz crackers. That is a true story. That was Joy Bauer's very first diet. Obviously, it didn't work. I jumped ship. But, very funny. My parents joke, though, that, even as a little kid, I chose broccoli over Barbies. I was just fascinated with health and, like, making great big messes in my mom's kitchen, like, forever. I love to play with food. I love to eat and, a passion for health. So all of these things sort of came together. I bet, at some point I could have been led into nursing school as well, because I think, like, we're sort of all related.
Mm-hmm. Do you want another question, Joy? Should I keep
Wait,
asking?
I'm going to go ahead and do this now.
Do it.
We're done. So let me show you what this looks like.
I'm going to disappear so people can get more view of this delightful.
Okay. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is pie filling now, without a doubt. So the only thing that it's missing is the crust. So when it came to the crust, I thought, what could be super simple to incorporate, but at the same time, like, light-ish and still give you that ultimate apple pie experience. And I came up with the cinnamon graham crackers. So this makes 2 servings, and each of the servings is only 150 calories, which is amazing, right? So, like, if you want to go ahead and eat the whole thing, you could. If you taste it now, it really doesn't even need anything else. You could scoop this into a small ramekin. You could do like a nice squirt of whipped cream on top, and you could be good to go. But if you do want that crunch and that ultimate experience, I take 6 of these squares. I'm using the cinnamon ones, and I'm just going to crumble them right up in here. Any size chunks will work. And I'm actually going to save one because I'm going to use it to decorate. So I crumble it up just like this. If you want it plain, you could do the non-cinnamon ones. You could half it if you want. But when I tell you 150 calories for the whole thing, that's including the graham cracker. So now I'm stirring it just like this. And I'm going to plate one for you, and I'm going to show you how easy this is and how beautiful it comes out. It's just such a fun thing. So this would be a serving. Oh, cameraman's getting his spoon ready. And I'm going to go ahead, and I'll put a piece of this just like this. And if you want, like what I've done over here is I used a cinnamon stick just to fancy it up a drop. And there you have it. There you have it. I hope you guys try this one. You're really going to love it. And one other thing that you can do is, if you want, you could have skipped the graham crackers and you could put this on a bowl of plain steel cut oats or oatmeal. And it just it takes a breakfast to a wow stratosphere. It's really delicious. So Ian, am I going to give this one to you?
No, I'll taste test it for everyone.
Ian's going to taste test it for everybody. See what you think. And it also has 3 grams of fiber per serving, which is really awesome, especially for an apple pie. Right.
Oh my God. I highly recommend everyone make this tonight.
You heard what Ian said. Everybody needs to make this tonight. Apple pies for all the nurses. Awesome. Okay, so Nicole, you could ask me some questions, and I'm going to set up for the next thing.
Awesome. I feel like this is my own magic trick where I keep reappearing. Okay, we have a handful of questions. Let's see what we can get to. So there was a question where they said, I'm trying to make spinach waffles for my toddler. How can I incorporate that and sneak in veggies? That's very ambitious. I think that's very ambitious.
No, I actually love that. Spinach waffles?
Yeah.
Okay, so the easiest thing I would tell you to do is, well, there's 2 different things. First, I would do the baby spinach leaves because they're very, very mild. And you can chop them up, and you could just add it to any kind of whole grain waffle or pancake batter. I certainly have recipes. I could include that in the email, but you could just use a box. There's a lot of great brands out there, and you just mix it right in. Another thing that you could do is you could buy the frozen chopped spinach. I'm doing this because
the brick.
Brick, exactly. Yeah. And you would just let it defrost and squeeze out all of the water. So you could either let it defrost and thaw at room temperature, or you could put it in the microwave and like let it cool a little bit. But the trick is to absolutely get all of the water out. And then you could take the whole thing, or you could just take some of it and you could put it right into the waffle batter. And you know, it'll be a little bit green, but I mean, green is the new black, I think.
Green waffles and eggs, like green eggs and ham. I mean, you could
Exactly.
go
You could
nuts
have a
with
lot
that.
of fun with that. And it's perfect for St. Patrick's Day, for
That's so
sure.
fun.
Yeah. So I like that one. And one other thing, I'm going to include this in the email as well. I make a mean butternut squash healthy mac and cheese. And the butternut squash is roasted and it's the same color as the cheddar cheese. So I don't care like how finicky and picky your kids are. Nobody will know except for you. And your kids will get a blast of beta carotene and fiber and potassium. So it's all good.
I love that. I want that recipe. Kendra asked briefly, I think this is in regards to the last recipe, alternatives to sugar. Is coconut sugar okay?
Coconut sugar is fine, but just so you all know, I mean, it might have a little bit of a lower glycemic index, but it's, you know, it's basically the same added sugar and it's going to be the same amount of calories. What you can do is, and same goes for honey and for maple syrup. What you can also do is you can use one of the sugar substitutes. If you have a very keen palate, you might get a bit of an aftertaste. So I'm just letting you guys know. The other thing that you could do is sometimes, honestly, I don't even add the sugar in. If your apples are sweet enough and, you know, it's for you versus your kids, it might be totally fine as is. You know, I told you what I do when I add it into my yogurt. Normally, in that case, I wouldn't even add the sugar. So I wouldn't add the sugar, and I also wouldn't add the graham crackers.
Right.
And I just sort of, what'd you do? Oh, so Ian wants me to show you.
Gone.
Gone. But you know what? I saved this one for me. So he's not eating the leftover.
No, that's yours. That's yours.
We have a feast. Every time we finish one of these things, we like go from section to section of the kitchen and we polish everything off.
I love it. It's like it's your built-in meal planning as you cook. It's great.
Yes.
I'll give you one more question, which I think is people have upvoted this one. They really want to hear this, which is a heavy question, but any tips for losing weight and how to stay on track?
Yes, I think so. Let's talk about staying on track first. We are goal-oriented people, and you guys are all wicked, and you know exactly what you should be doing. It's a matter of staying motivated, right? Like everybody's a great starter, but like how do you keep it going? So what I would tell you to do is I love long-term goals. They're awesome. Know what your long-term goal is. Is it I want to lose 50 pounds, or I want to run the marathon, or you know, I want to reduce the recurrence of breast cancer because I've already had it or it runs in my family. So know what your long-term goal is and make it official and write it down somewhere where you could see it all the time to keep you inspired. But the thing that will keep you on track are the short-term goals. So I think every single week you should have a brand new one, or maybe even tangible, realistic, personal, and enduring short-term goals. And they could be weight related. I want to lose a half a pound this week, or they can be action related. I like the action goals even better. So maybe it's something like, you know, this week I am going to try 2 of Joy's new healthy recipes. Or maybe it's this week I am going to walk 1 hour every single day. And by the way, it doesn't have to be continuous. I could break it up into bite-sized pieces. It could be, you know, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, 20 minutes at night. Or maybe it's I'm going to brown bag my lunch to the hospital or the clinic so that I'm not, you know, stuck ordering something and not having an option or a choice. So those short-term goals, they sort of act as continuous inspiration and motivation, because the nice part about short-term goals are, again, they have to be attainable, achievable, and you get to give yourself a pat on the back at the end of every single week. Like, celebrate them. You are awesome. You're doing an amazing job. The short-term goals keep you motivated, but they're also, they add up. They're impactful, and they enable you along the way to feel accomplished and continue to lose weight. So make your long-term goal and make your short-term goal. And then from the standpoint of nutrition tips, I would say one of the best pieces of advice I could give all of you guys is to incorporate a produce item into each and every meal. And that is specifically for weight loss, not just for health. And here's why. Vegetables more so than fruit, but let's just say produce in general, but I'm giving a heavy emphasis on the vegetables. They're high volume and they're low in calories. So they fill you up without filling you out. And it's so fabulous for me to be able to tell you to put something into your diet versus to have you take something out of your diet. So if it's in the morning and you're making an omelet, chop up some tomatoes or mushrooms or onions and throw it in with your eggs. If it is a yogurt, add some fresh berries on top. At lunch, have a big salad. If you're having a sandwich, lift up that top slice of bread and load on lettuce, tomato, cucumbers, roasted peppers, like anything goes. And with dinner, the sky is the limit. It could be a stir fry. It could be, a salad starter. It could be a vegetable soup. There are so many ways to get those vegetables in. But vegetables and fruit will inevitably help you lose weight. They absolutely will.
Thank you, Joy. I'm going to disappear and let you get on to the next one, and we'll come back for more questions.
On that note, we're going to make a mug cake.
Great. Perfect sense. Full of vegetables.
I love mug cake. So this is one of the recipes that doesn't necessarily have healthful ingredients, but the problem with eating cake normally is that the slices are huge. You're left with the rest of the cake. So you want to go, even out the slice or have a second sliver. The lovely part about a mug cake is it's one and done. And this particular one is only, how many calories is this? It's like 150 calories, 140 or 150 calories. So it's so easy. There's no regret involved, and there's a lot of variations that I'm going to tell you about. So I call it a 3-2-1, but really there's only 2 ingredients, and it's like a mix mug situation here. It's so simple. So I'm starting with, it could be a mug, but I'm going to show you a ramekin because it's going to be a little bit easier for you to see it because the mug has some depth that you need to look down. I eat it within. If you wanted to fly it out onto a plate, you would want to spray the inside with a little bit of oil spray. But because I eat it within, I don't even go there with the spray. So the first thing we're going to do is you take a chocolate fudge boxed cake, Betty Crocker, Duncan Hines, whatever it may be. And it's going to be 3 tablespoons. So I have 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and 3 tablespoons. The reason I call it a 3-2-1 is because it's 3 tablespoons of the boxed cake mix. Then you put in, now we're up to the 2 tablespoons of water. So I put my water in, 1, 2, and I'm just going to mix that up. So mix it up just to dissolve the cake mix. Can you see that? Yeah. I'm trying to tilt without letting it spill onto my counter. Okay, here we go. You could do this with a vanilla cake mix as well. Very, very simple. But we're all about the chocolate right now. Are you with me? Okay, everything's better with chocolate. And so that was the 3 tablespoons of the cake mix, 2 tablespoons of water, and now we just have 1 left, and that's going to be my dark chocolate chips. So I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of my dark chocolate chips right in here. And if you can believe, I'm going to hand this over to Ian, and he's going to put it in the microwave for 50 seconds. And that's it.
I have to try this afterwards.
50 seconds. Now, there's a few variations that I want to tell you about. I wrote myself some notes here. If you want a mocha flavored cake, you would just add 1.5 teaspoons of instant ground coffee or espresso, and you will get a wonderful mocha flavor. It's so delicious. And again, it's just 50 seconds in the microwave. If you want a fruity cake, I like to add 1/4 to 1/2 chopped banana in there. Or you could do 1/4 cup of sliced strawberries or blueberries. And in this case, because we're adding some juiciness, you just want to microwave a little bit longer. It's going to be about 1 minute and 10 seconds. You guys are going to get all of these links in the email. So just remember, nurse@joybauer.com. And the last one is for a chocolate peanut butter. I add 1 tablespoon of creamy peanut butter into the batter, and that one I microwave again for 1 minute and 10 seconds. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with this formula, and I don't even know which one is my favorite. I like all of them. What?
Yeah.
Oh, here. So here,
It's hot.
it's a little bit hot. Oh, it's actually not even that hot. So look at that. There's the cake. And now watch what we're going to do to it. I made one earlier. And so we need to doctor it up just a drop. I love aerated whipped cream because it's so light thanks to the air. And so what I'm going to do here is, whoa, a little bit of that. And I'm going to put a little bit of cocoa powder right on that. And there you have, guys, it's like perfect. A single serve masterpiece, mouth-watering masterpiece for, again, it's low in calorie, it's much lower in sugar, there's no leftovers, which I absolutely appreciate and love, because like I'm that girl that would continue to go up with the knife, like, oh, just another little piece and another little piece. Yeah. So that's the beauty of this. And Ian has his hand over the computer waiting for it right now.
If I must. If I must.
Let me actually, could I just show them how
Yeah,
moist it
yeah.
is? Okay, let me just show you something. Can you guys see this?
It looks like delightful cake to me. That's what it looks like.
It's like moist and airy. And here's like another secret. You could do the same thing with brownie mix.
That's why I came on, Joyce, to say, someone said, can I use brownie mix?
You could use brownie mix, and it's dense and chewy. So you know you're going to get that brownie experience. So you would do amount. It's the 3 tablespoons, 3, 2, 1. The mix, the water, and the chocolate chips. And you got a party. And
then put a little peanut butter in there, because that's where I live. I just throw.
You know what else you could do with the peanut butter? This is a great kitchen hack. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll put some peanut butter in a little microwave safe bowl, and I pop it in the microwave for about 20 seconds, and it makes it pourable. And then I'll drizzle it over the top of the cake, and yeah.
Done.
And when you want to talk about food, you have come to the right place.
I hope everybody's has eaten. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about desserts, and you're going to get more hungry, because we have a couple people who are making food, Joy, and Courtney is eating hers as she waits for her veggies to cook, which, Courtney, I'm here for that. That's a great strategy.
And what did she say about it?
It's delightful. And she added peanut butter. Yes, yes, she added peanut butter.
Love it.
Awesome. All right, time for another question.
Wait, can you just tell me, what were some of the meals that people
I can, yes. Oh, you're gonna be probably not shocked, but okay. Wine, ramen, Starbucks, easy mac and cheese, Subway, Taco Bell, popcorn, Trader Joe's frozen meals, anything cheap, more Subway, mashed potatoes, Taco Bell, coffee, Chick-fil-A grilled nuggets. That's probably the most healthy out of the bunch, I'll say. Mexican food, veggie sandwich. It just really runs the gamut, but quick and easy seem to be the common themes.
I love this crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are awesome. Okay, now we are making a chocolate milkshake. Okay. I love this chocolate milkshake because, first off, I'm going to do it in a way that's non-dairy. I'm going to be using almond milk, but you could use whatever milk you have in the house, because, as I always love to say, like, you are the boss of your recipe. So you use these recipes that I'm giving you as the starter, and then you could take it in all different directions. So what I love about this is a milkshake with no added sugar. There is no added sugar whatsoever. And it's incredibly heart healthy because we have a banana and we also have the cocoa powder. And we'll talk a little bit about that when I put them in. So I'm starting with 1 cup of almond milk. And again, you can use a 1% milk or skim milk or a rice milk if you want, whatever milk you have in the house. So I'm putting in my 1 cup over here. Next, I'm going to be putting in 1 frozen banana. And the riper the banana is, the sweeter it's going to be. So what I like to do is when the bananas on the counter start to turn a little bit brown and speckly, I'm like, yes! Some people throw them out, and that is just so heartbreaking because those bananas are so prime for either adding sweetness and creaminess into baked goods or making milkshakes with them. So I peel them and I pop them in the freezer, and I have like a whole shelf of frozen bananas. So never throw them out when they start to get speckled. That's when you want to start a stash in your freezer. So I have a frozen banana. Bananas are loaded with potassium, and potassium is like the anti-sodium, right? Sodium draws in water, and if you're sensitive, it could then subsequently increase blood pressure numbers, right? Potassium does just the opposite. So it helps to flush out excess water. And what I love about that is not only can it help to manage blood pressure, but it also helps to get rid of excess bloat. So potassium is wonderful. And then we have over here 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. So cocoa powder is like the king of dark chocolate. It's 100% dark chocolate. It's loaded with flavonols, which helps to keep our arteries happy, healthy, and elastic. And a healthy heart is a healthy brain. So it also has great brain health capabilities as well. So that's 1 tablespoon and 2 tablespoons. After you taste your chocolate milkshake, if you like it even more chocolatey, you could add a 3rd tablespoon in as well. And what we're making here is 1 serving. 1 serving. It's 2 cups. It's only 170 calories, and it's got 7 grams of fiber. A chocolate milkshake with no added sugar and 7 grams of fiber. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And so this is half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're just going to put some ice cubes in, and we're going to whirl this up. So let me put the cap back on this because I am known for like elbowing it and making a great big mess. And I'll put some ice cubes in, and we're gonna get going. If you like chocolate mint, another cool thing that you could do is add just a small drop of mint extract. Mint extract is very, very potent. You could always add more in, but you can't pull back. So I would say start with just a tad of a drop. And I love to do that as a shamrock shake. And then I will add a little bit of mint leaves as garnish when we have St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so here I'm going to roll this up. I'm going to pre-apologize for the noise, but it comes together very, very quickly. So it's only about 30 seconds. And guys, I have an ice cube in here still, but I don't want to annoy you with the noise. So I think I'm going to pour it. And so this is 1 serving. I'll try not to get, and you could see how thick and frothy it is. Oh my God, this is really good. And you won't believe that there's no ice cream in it. Oh, look at that. All the ice cubes are done. So I actually have more. This is all mine. This is all 1 serving, the whole thing. And so look, if we wanted, I mean, we could do this too. And we could do a little bit of this on top. And I'm going to do a cheers to the most amazing nurses out there. This is really, really good. To good health and delicious beverages. E, do you want to take a sip? Is anybody drinking this right now? Does anybody have any questions on the milkshake? Oh my God, it's so good.
I'm just wiping drool off of my keyboard. So let me know that. If y'all have questions. Oh, Courtney asked milkshake specifically. So we've got 3 questions. So Kiana asks, is there a substitute for the banana?
So the banana adds a lot of creaminess to it. So it definitely gives it a little bit of texture. The only other thing, the other fruit that I think could work in this, but we'll take it in a little bit of a different flavor direction, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, would be frozen mango. And the nice part about mango is that you can buy frozen mango chunks. So I know, peeling and slicing up a mango can be a little bit fussy. And so you can definitely try it with the mango. And if you love mango, you'll love the flavor. And
that was actually another question, was mangoes. Can you substitute mangoes? So
you can. And the cocoa powder overwhelms the flavor nodes anyway. So you're still going to end up with a very chocolate forward milkshake.
I love that.
Sure.
Courtney asked if there's a healthy choice for whipped cream.
Because it's aerated, I generally will buy anything that is like the one that I have here is a Wegmans brand. So I will generally just go with, so this is real cream. What's in here, it's just heavy cream, sugar, and non-fat milk. And then because there's so much air, you're really not eating a lot at all. I think also they have coconut versions so that if you don't want to go in a dairy direction, you can absolutely find some of the coconut ones. The problem with a lot of the coconut products, coconut oil, coconut milk, is it has a lot of saturated fat. And I know it's controversial, but like if you look at the American Heart Association, I think those are things to use as accents and not your always go-to, unless you have a dairy problem. Yeah, for sure. So I am going to now, we're going to make our last.
And Joy, there was a question. Can we make the chocolate milkshake alcoholic? I mean, you could make anything alcoholic, right? I mean,
absolutely. And this last one is extra good.
We're ready for that. Yeah.
Yeah, rum, because it has a pina colada vibe to it, this next one for sure. So let me grab this over here. And here's a question for everybody. What is your favorite kitchen gadget? Is it a microwave, an air fryer, an Instapot? Is it, let's see what else, a Cuisinart? A food processor? Like, what would be your blender? What is your absolute favorite? If you could only pick one, what would it be? I think for me, it would be my coffee maker. I love coffee. I love coffee so much.
We've got all across the board too. My husband, that's one. The NutriBullet air fryer, mixer, more air fryers, crock pots, NutriBullet, mixer, Ninja Foodie, Ninja Blender, air fryer, Instapot, food processor, Instapot, Ninja Foodie. Wow, that's a really popuar one. Espresso machine, and then coffee.
What's funny? I have a Ninja Blender right here.
Yeah.
I have a Vitamix and I have a Ninja Blender. Yeah, I collect gadgets. I just love all gadgets, everything.
Yes.
A milk frother, can openers, I like them all. I like spiralizers. I have waffle machines, and I run the gamut. I have really budget-friendly, inexpensive stuff, and I have all the way up the ladder.
So Joy, can you let's say, what's the best kitchen gadget? Especially we have a lot of nurses who travel. So what would be the best kitchen gadget you'd recommend for a nurse to bring with them on their travels, just for multi-use in the kitchen?
Ooh.
I know it's a complicated question because it has to be kind of compact as well.
So this might be a little bit of a boring answer, but I would say probably a really good multi-purpose knife.
That makes sense.
I'm a slave to my knives, and there's nothing like having a really good knife. It changes your entire kitchen experience. It really does. But I would say for people that, if you travel and you have the capability of actually bringing a machine with you, I would take a look at some of the multi-purpose, whether it be like Ninja or
like the NutriBullet, those types of things that.
Well, because what happens is not necessarily the NutriBullet. They have machines that are Instapot. Instapot air fryers, and I think even toaster ovens all in one. And the reason that I know a lot about them is because, I'm right outside New York City. So I have a big New York City following, and people are in tiny little apartments, and they always, they want to sample and utilize like all of the fun stuff that I'm using. So I know that I've researched and they have really good reviews on some of these multifaceted units. Yeah, but it still is. It's a little bit clunky. One thing that I love, this is really funny. I'm going to show you. Hold on. Ian knows what I'm going for. Oh my goodness. I love my onion goggles.
Oh my gosh, those are amazing.
Put these goggles on and you will never shed a tear when you slice onions. So this is another fun little thing that you could pack in your suitcase.
Onion goggles. Priority.
Okay, so we are going to make a tropical limoncello slush that I think you guys are going to love. So the first thing I have here is 1.5 cups of pineapple. And pineapple is great because it has a group of enzymes called bromelain, which aids in digestion, and they have anti-inflammatory properties. So I'm putting that right in here. Next, I have 1/4 cup of lemon juice. And I have fresh squeezed lemon juice here, but you could also use any of the store-bought just to save yourself a little bit of time. And I'm going to put in 1 cup of ice cubes, which is, whoops, you guys heard that, which is generally about 5. And last but not least, I'm using, this is a Lacroix Limoncello flavored sparkling water. So there's no sodium, there's no sugar, there's no calories. It's 100% innocent. And the limoncello has like a creamy lemon flavor. So it's sort of like you're taking a trip to the Amalfi Coast. So I'm going to add that in. And if you want to put more ice cubes in, you could almost create a sorbet because it will be thicker. So I'm going to put this in. And I've also done this with their key lime flavor and their regular lime flavor or their lemon flavor, and it all works beautifully. So if you can't find the limoncello, you could certainly use another flavor. We're going to mix this up. Done. That's it. I think it should be good to go. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So again, like if I would have done more ice cubes, it would be super thick. It wouldn't even be pourable. And so this, guys, is like primed. If you should want to turn it into a cocktail, you know what to do. Oh my God, that is delicious. You need this recipe. Who's making this recipe? This is like one of those recipes that you could sip at the poolside, or you could cozy up on the couch and just sort of like self-indulge with a great book or binge something on Netflix. I hope everybody tries this one. It's good. Again, to you, to the nurses, to the fabulous nurses during Nurse Appreciation Week. Want to try it, eh?
Sure.
That looks so good.
So good. Wait, so here, give me the chocolate milkshake back. It's like, what?
Oh
Is there any left?
That's so good. Yeah. No, there is. But he refilled it. That's why. Remember, I had leftover.
That's right. Yep.
And wait a second. And you ate the. Oh, he ate
Oh
the
my
rest.
God.
We have this.
No, here you go. This was supposed to be your
this.
portion.
We have this. We have this. Oh my God. Oh, look, he ate my portion too.
Ian, not cool.
Wait.
Nicole, I'm so hungry.
I do have, hold on, I'm coming back. I have something else though. Okay. I got my mug cake. So look what we got here. So we made the single serve apple pies. We made chocolate mug cakes fit for a queen nurse. We made dairy-free no sugar added, 100% good for you chocolate creamy milkshakes, and a limoncello slushy for the summer months with a tropical spin, with or without booze.
These are amazing. Everyone is basically, again, salivating on their own phones or computers. We have a couple more questions if you want to take a few. Okay. So what are your thoughts? Again, this is more of a loaded question. What are your thoughts on trendy dieting, such as like paleo, or, I mean, you could insert diet here.
So, you know, I feel like dieting is a lot like fashion. Different things look and feel better on different people. And I never want to be a naysayer. I think like whatever enables people to feel more comfortable in their skin and to eat less junk is okay in my book, to be honest with you. I certainly know intimately about all of those diets, from keto to paleo to vegan to, you know, Atkins and Weight Watchers, like you name it. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about sustainability and being safe, right? So, you know, if you have any medical issues, or it's really also about your patients. If they have certain, you know, medical things that are concerning, they absolutely want to be safe, number one. And number two, like, you just want to be smart about it. So if you use something as a jump start, but you see that it's not sustainable, rewrite the script. You know, you can personalize it and open it up and make it a little bit less deprivational, or add things into it that you know that you can't live without. And it's all good. It really is. But always remember, like, if it sounds too good to be true, even though, like, listen, we're human. Sometimes we're desperate and we want something so bad, like we want to believe. If it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And that's where you need to give yourself a reality check.
Absolutely. Quick question. Could we use frozen strawberries instead of ice for the summer drink, for the limoncello drink?
Oh my God. It would be a strawberry lemonade, and it would be absolutely fabulous. Yes. Fabulous. Like, you can't go wrong. There's no wrong turn.
No.
In most of these things. Again, like, use what I gave you as inspiration to try all sorts of other new things.
Love it. Two more questions. What is an affordable brand of knives that you'd recommend?
So I really like is it Green Pan? Let me show you what I have here. This is called, it's the Chop and Grill by Green Pan. I actually love Green Pan, the line of pans as well. This is the Santuco. So, like, even if you only want to invest in one, this is a multi-purpose. I think I used either this or its twin sister for the apples that I was chopping up. I also like the fact that it's non-stick, and it's sleek looking, and it cleans very, very well, and it is sharp as can be. So that's probably what I would recommend, and reasonable.
That's great. Last question. So a low, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, FODMAP, FODMAP diet can't have apples. Any ideas for alternative fruits for this recipe? That was for the apple.
Right. I'm trying to think. Give me, I know the FODMAP diet well, and can you just give me a couple of fruits that are okay on it? Because I think, like, you can look at the list and you can swap it in.
I see blueberries, kiwis, limes, mandarins, oranges, papaya, pineapple, rhubarb, and strawberries, because I searched it. Because I was like, I have no idea. So that's what I found on my quick Google search.
I think you could probably use strawberries with it. You could probably use strawberries, and I would say that just keep an eye on the time in the microwave, because strawberries are just inherently softer than apples. So it's probably going to soften up a little bit more quickly. Yeah, I wish I had my fruit list in front of me with the FODMAP diet. Yeah.
Got it. Joy, that's it. I also got a recommendation. Try jalapeno in that lemon slush. That sounds delightful as well.
Yes, I'm all about the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And like with the jalapenos, if you leave the skin and the membranes in there, it will be wicked hot. And if you just want the taste of jalapenos, just make sure that you discard the seeds before you put it in, so that you don't destroy your drink. And so I just want to remind everybody too. So I have so much free information I'm going to send you the links for all these recipes, including the butternut mac and cheese that we talked about. I have an Amazon live show every Tuesday night in my kitchen where I cook up a storm for an hour. It's interactive like this. You guys can request. You could do whatever you want. I'll send you the link for that as well. You could cook with me. You could just observe. But it's a really fun community, and like we're growing by leaps and bounds every Tuesday. It's a lot of fun. And we actually have a lot of nurses already on board that come and visit. I also have a free newsletter. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. I read every single comment. So if there's anything you ever want to know about, you just can comment and I will jump on it for sure. And so remember, we have this email, and I'm going to send you all of those links. All you need to do is just say like, hey, I'm here. It's nurse@Joybauer, JOYBAUER. And in the next 48 hours, all of the people that send an email, a quick email to that, not only will you get back all of the links and everything, I'm going to put you in for a drawing. You will be submitted for a personalized superfood book. And so we'll wait 48 hours before we do that. But even people that watch this after the 48-hour mark still send me the email, because at the very least, I'll be able to send you all of the links from the recipes that we did, plus the ones that we mentioned, and the links to all of the places to follow along so that you could get fabulous food and feel good at the same time.
Well, Joy, thank you so much for all of your wisdom and your joy, which of course is so appropriate for you. This has been really such a pleasure to watch, and again, I want to go make everything that you just made. So,
well, Nicole, I'm saying such a big thank you to you. Everybody should know Nicole set this whole entire thing up. You made it so seamless for me, and I was really excited to do this because again, it gives me an opportunity to say thank you to all of you all who have made such a huge difference forever and continue to make a difference, but especially during this trying year. So again, my huge virtual hug and a huge big kiss. And I'm wishing everybody years and years ahead filled with good health and delicious food and beverages.
Yes. Thank you, Joy. Thank you for everyone who joined tonight. Make sure to send an email to nurse@joybauer.com. I'll put it in the wrap-up email. We have 4 more Nurses Week events coming up, so make sure you check out the events page. We have everything from yoga to we have a dance, a cardio dance class tomorrow, Dance Through the Decades. Next week, we're painting and sipping. We're doing meditation, and we have a virtual magic show, which is going to be really incredible too. So we have a lot to come. Check out the recording coming soon. And we are also going to ask you for your feedback. So let us know how you like the event so we can improve in the future too. So that's it. Good night, y'all. Thank you, Joy. We appreciate you. Happy Nurses Week, everybody.